facts tell and stories sell. And I got reminded of that earlier today in a very direct and extremely targeted way, right? I got sold essentially. And it just reminded me the importance of telling your story, right? When it comes to selling digital products or selling physical products, selling period, like whatever it is that you're selling, right? It is so important. It's going to increase, it's going to drive sales so much further, right? If you share your own personal story, you share your own journey, right? Whatever difficulty you've been dealing with, how you were able to overcome it, right? And share how that can help other people who are experiencing the same thing overcome that same problem, okay? Now, if you are someone, by the way, that is interested in looking to get started selling digital products online, whether it's your own that you create as the product owner or selling other people's as an affiliate, right? I'd highly encourage you to check out that first link in the description below this video. It will give you access to a video that will show you exactly how to get started, right? With setting everything up the correct way, with the right foundation, giving you the best chance for long-term success, okay? So if you are interested in that, and by the way, it's a great way to help monetize your YouTube channel as well, if that's something that you're doing instead of waiting to get monetized through the YouTube Partner Program. A great way to make money with your channel before that happens is to sell digital products, okay? So now if you're interested in learning how to do all that, like I mentioned earlier, check out that first link in the description below this video, okay? Now, this is something that is so important that I have overlooked big time, right? Like I don't do enough of it, right? And I just wanted to share that with you in case it's, it's an incredibly powerful, powerful tip here, right? And if it's not something that you're doing or paying attention to just yet, I would highly encourage you to start doing that, okay? Now, earlier today, I don't know what I was looking for, but I came across, I came across a channel, right? I hadn't heard of him before. I guess I was looking at another channel, and I think it was some guy who goes around interviewing people who look ripped and are, look really fit and jacked, and, he interviews people and asking them what they do, what kind of exercises they do to get fit and stay healthy and all that. And one of the people that he interviewed got my attention. I believe his name is Adam Frater. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's Adam, Adam, and then the last name is Frater. Come to find out, he's a pretty big big personality on YouTube with almost 1 million followers or so. I don't know. But I saw this other channel, right? That, this other person that goes, he calls it, is it Body by Mark or something like that? Anyway, I randomly came up on that, and I guess what caught my attention is because the background. I saw the thumbnail of the short or video, whatever it was, and I could recognize that, oh, that's Miami, right? It was like Miami Beach or so, and of course, I clicked on it, right? Like, and I. Just to see, right, what it was all about. And then I saw this guy, and then I was looking at the comments. One of the things that they asked was like how many pull-ups he could do, and it was like I think he said a lot, and then the guy asked specifically how many, and he said like 30, and he was asked if he could do it right now, and he was like, nah, he's not gonna do that now, that's gonna interrupt his workout and all that. So I started going through the comments and looking at what people are saying, and some people saying he said no, he's not going to do it because he probably can't do it, or some people were giving him props for not wanting to please the interviewer, or not wanting to prove anything, right? Like some people were saying he's confident enough where he doesn't feel the need to prove that he can actually do 30 pull-ups and all that type of stuff. So I saw all that looking at the comments, and then somebody mentioned, oh, that he's actually a pretty big personality on YouTube or so. Like, people, he's big into calisthenics and all that, and he's really, that he probably could easily do those 30 pull-ups, right? That's probably nothing for him, especially for someone whose job it is to do that, right? Like, fitness is what his whole channel is all about. And so I went and I looked and I'm digging and I'm looking, and of course, you know, because you know, like he's, I was just looking, right? Like I'm interested in fitness too, you know, I like to stay healthy and all that type stuff. And then I'm going through his stuff, and then I saw one of his videos that caught my eye, right? You know, and I've been seeing all kinds of videos on YouTube in relation to a specific problem that I have, right? And this is a specific problem that I have. And the video did not say, it didn't necessarily say like how to do X, right? It was more about the video was how I do X, right? So it was his video saying how he overcame this, right? And I'll tell you exactly what the problem is, right? It's not something that I'm hiding or whatever. So of course that got my attention, and you know, I'm listening, and because he said how I do this, in my mind, I'm looking at that and I was like, oh, okay, that must have his personal story, how he overcame that particular problem. And talk about relatability, right? Relatability. Now, he does calisthenics, he's big into fitness and all that type of stuff, right? Taking care of his body and all that. So that's, you know, he's an athlete in essence, right? Has the body of an athlete. Now, I happen to be an athlete too, right? But my field is soccer, right? And one of my biggest, you know, I've been struggling with a knee injury that has been bothering me for over a year now, and I've just not been able to perform right at my very best when it comes to soccer. You know, I'm still able to play on it, but it's just not, and I'm pretty sure it's, you know, I've dealt with this before, right? So I've had 2 knee surgeries before, one on each knee, and they were both for having torn my meniscus, right? My medial meniscus or so. And so this guy, Adam, his video said how I think I actually pulled it up, as a matter of fact. I was looking at, I still have it up from when I watched it earlier. It said how I healed my torn meniscus and herniated disc, okay? So the torn meniscus is what got my attention, because this is something that I've just not been able to get rid of. So this is the video that I watched, okay? And so I started watching it. You know, it was only 4 minutes, and I was like, and come to find out, the treatment that he was doing was something that I don't think I have necessarily, I mean, I've heard of it before, but I'd never ever considered it as an option for myself, okay, to take care of my situation, right, when it comes to my, you know, when it comes to my meniscus, right? Cause I've had a knee, the issue that I have right now is with my right knee, right? My right knee, and I'm pretty certain that it is the meniscus again, right? I had it looked at, one of the things that's going to confirm that is having to have an MRI, right? So I saw that, you know, I've already had 2 knee surgeries, one on each knee, as I mentioned, and I really have been avoiding having to do another one, right, to take care of the current issue that I have, whether it is my meniscus or some other issue going on somewhere there in my knee. And I've just been, you know, hopefully, focusing on hopefully getting over the pain with, just doing rehab and stuff like that. It's been getting, you know, I've gotten it better, was able to play on it, but I'm just not at 100%. So I started watching Adam's video here, and, talk about relatability and how targeted this particular video was to someone like me, okay? He, as an athlete as well, right? A lot of his life revolves around, you know, like being athletic and staying fit and being in shape and doing all these things. And he was talking about how he's had this torn meniscus and herniated disc that has been bothering him forever. You know, funny enough, I've got some lower back issue that I've been dealing with. Like, I haven't even had that checked out, but that's been bothering me for a while. This was a long time ago when I used to move. I know I got the injury from when I had a job where I used to move furniture and stuff, right, years ago. And, you know, I've been dealing with that, but it's not been as much of a bother or concern to me as much as my meniscus, right? The real thing that hampers my performance is my meniscus. So he's talking about how he had this issue. He's been dealing with this for so long. doctors he met, they've all recommended surgery, and even with the surgery, it's not 100% guaranteed that he's that he's going to be fully healed and all that type stuff, right? And that was, I'm just listening to all this, and I'm like, wow, like this is me right there. And he was basically talking about these doctors down in Miami who do stem cell, right? They treat with stem cells, right? Yeah, and this was something kind of new to me in terms. I mean, I've heard of stem cell treatment and all that type of stuff, right? But this was never something I'd even ever considered as a potential option to take care of whatever I have going on with my knee, right? But all of a sudden, right, he's telling his story, he's saying how he's been dealing, and this sounds like exactly me, right? And then he was talking about how, the previous like 5 months, 5 months prior to shooting that video, he had gone and seen these doctors. So obviously he didn't just do that on a whim, right? He waited to see if what the treatment they were offering worked. And sure enough, he's been feeling better. The pain's been going. And then the one thing he said that totally got me, it was like, he's able to do what he does when it comes to, athletics and perform at 100% without feeling pain. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. I got to see what this is all about. Right. Cause all along I've only been, options were like surgery or like maybe possibly just doing therapy and it'll heal over time, possibly, I've heard acupuncture and all these type things, and something new here. And this guy is vouching for the work that these doctors did. And it just like the entire story, everything about him was just exactly my situation. So you think I was not excited or feeling like, oh my God, like this might be the thing that I've been searching for that might give me it might be the answer to this problem that I've been having. You best believe I'm going to go find out and look at, see what's going on with, these physicians down there in Miami. And if it's something that can be, something that I could, possibly benefit from. And all this to say, right, if it turns, all this to say, like, this message, everything was so targeted, right, and telling his story, like, him saying everything that he's saying, like, telling his story, of course, if he was lying on just selling it so well, he got me pretty good, I'll tell you that, right, he sold the story well, right, if that is a lie, but I have no reason to believe. I have no reason to see why he would be lying about anything like that, right? Whether or not that was he was paid to make that video, who knows? I don't know. But the bottom line is, that's something that he recommended, right? And when it comes to selling your digital products or products that you own as that are your own, or you're selling other people's as an affiliate, in this case, if let's say he was getting some kind of affiliate commission for it, that would be what that would be like, right? Telling your story, right? Having yourself, your own unique experience shared in the story, right? Is something that will drive sales like crazy, right? This is somebody, I've never met this guy, right? I've never known about, I only found this, I'm talking about the Adam, right? I didn't know about him prior to today. I've never heard of him, right? I've never heard of him. He's not my friend. He's not somebody that, when like and trust people, right? Obviously people, your friends that you've known forever, you trust. If they recommended something to you, you're more likely to, to take their recommendation, or it's your family, right? Cause that they would want the best for you, right? But yet, this is the power of storytelling. Somebody that I don't even know, have no idea any clue who he is. But the story was told so well. It was so targeted, right? To the point where, like, I'm not even thinking twice. Like, I gotta go find out what this is all about, right? And see if it's something that could be a viable solution for me. And this is the thing about selling product, right? Selling digital products, or selling whatever product it is that you're selling. Too often times, right, and I'm guilty of this too, right? We make the mistake of trying to sell to everybody, right? And when you try to sell to everybody, you end up selling to essentially nobody, okay? If you have, the key to driving sales, right? The key to having, you need to address a specific problem going after a specific group of people, okay? As opposed to trying to get that problem to apply to like an entire, like a mass group of people, right? If you have a very targeted specific problem and you apply, and you're looking to reach just that specific group of targeted people, you will, and inject your story, especially if you have one of yours, right? Like that, a story where this problem that these people are experiencing is one that you've experienced yourself and you've been able to overcome, right? You've been able to you've been able to come out on the other side of that problem in a good way, right? If the more you can do that, the more you can inject your story into this, the more you will drive sales, okay? Like, if just say, for instance, right now, like I wouldn't even think twice right now. Like, that's how bad I've been, like, because to be able to perform at a, elite level, no matter what the sport is, right? You really need to be healthy, right? You need to be at 100%. And it's like the words he was using, like, it was speaking directly to me. Like, for the longest time, he was talking about how, yes, he's been playing, but for the first time in a long time, now he's finally starting to feel like he can be himself and perform at 100%. That has been my biggest gripe so far. I'm able to, where I am right now, I'm able to participate, but I know what I used to be, right? And, physically, I just can't get there, right? I can't, like, I'm operating at like 70%, right? 80% at best, okay? So he's speaking my language essentially, right? So you'll be surprised, like, you're not, a lot of times we tend to think that we're so unique, right? Like, we're such individuals, right? Unique people, but you forget there's so many other people out there just like you, right? Just like us, right? So share your story, share exactly whatever it is that you're dealing with, right? Create content around the specific problem it is that you are trying to deal with, right? And that's how you'll attract, right, the people who are dealing with the same kind of stuff, right? And then they get to know you, they get to see your, in this case, all it took was just one video for me. That's how targeted this message was, right? That's how pinpoint and how perfect of a story it was, right? As that particular individual, I'm sold completely, right? Sold completely. Of course, I gotta go find out, right? Get more information to figure out and see what's going on, if it's something that would be, something viable, right? But even if it doesn't turn out to be that way, right? The point I'm making here is like, if you do a good enough job with injecting yourself into whatever it is that you are trying to sell, right, with your own personal experience, you will skyrocket your sales. Like, this is one of the biggest hacks when it comes to driving up sales, increasing your sales, right? So just remember that, right? It's one thing to give all the facts about whatever thing it is that you are promoting, but once you're, like the saying goes, like, facts tell, right? They just tell what's going on, but they don't really evoke any emotion, right? Get people thinking and going there, right? Whereas stories sell. So remember that. Facts tell, stories sell. Remember to tell your story, and keep that as try to keep that as an ongoing thing, right? With whatever you're promoting, whatever you're trying to do, right? Whatever you're trying to do online when it comes to like online sales and stuff. So just remember that and try to inject it. Like, so if you haven't start doing it now. Like, try to start incorporating stories, and preferably, if they can relate to your life and whatever you have going on in your life, the better. Okay, so that's that for now. Any questions, comments, or suggestions that you have, put them in the comment section below. I will be sure to answer. And like I mentioned earlier, if you'd like to learn how to go about selling digital products, right, check out that first link in the description below this video, and I will catch you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Ciao.